what topic are we doing now? Communication. All right? That's topic number 5, is it?
Yeah.
Number 6.
Fine.
Albert, is it 5 or 6? No, it's 5.
Fine.
Check your course outline. It's 6. Okay, it's 6. So it's topic 6, huh? And then we have 7 and 8 and we finish, huh? So we have communication, then what else? Spreadsheet, and then? Which one is the last one? Huh? Okay, so we're doing 6 now. Thank you, Albert. You've shown your management skills. Okay, so what topics have we covered already? Self-management, decision making, what? Building skills, project management, and delegation, and now we're doing communication. Okay, very good. Let's keep the map correct. You know what the map is? If you don't have the map, and you go to Moresby, Moresby is small, but if you go to Sydney, hey, Sydney is very big. And then if you go to New York, it's very big. So we have 8 million people, 9 million people in PNG. You can take the whole of PNG and drop it into Sydney alone. Because there are 9 million, 10 million people living in Sydney. And it's huge. So you need a map to move around. So our course outline is our map. It tells us where we're heading, where we start and where we end. Now, Moresby and Lay, ask yourself, all of you ask yourself, have you learned something in the last term? Yeah? You learned something, right?
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to learn at distinction level or H distinction level, but you have learned something. Yeah? You've learned something. In Japan, there are some higher education institutions that don't apply examination or test or anything. You just go to school and just do your homework and go home. Yeah, so, but we have a standard that we need to follow. So we built in the grading system, and so grading system calls for everyone to be what? Competitive. You compete with a person sitting next to you, all right? Because when we're preparing students to get out to work, yeah, we're not preparing students to go out and do nothing. If we remove the grading system from the BTH and master's program, it will be good. Because when you walk machine here, you come school as soon as you go walk. And how smartness you are, it's not graded. You think him, yeah? Anyway, me just up him brain blown, Alan Saran Bating. Okay. So let's talk about communication. Communication. Yeah? What is communication? When I'm something in communication. All right. we'll do a small activity, right? One sort of activity. Get a piece of paper, must be in lay. Get a piece of A4 size paper and get into two people, huh? 2, 4. So we have 8 people here. Get into 2 and discuss what you know, huh? What you know from your experience. Nathaniel, how old are you? Be honest. No one is gonna hate you. No one is gonna. Okay, let's say we are at. Okay, let's change the question. We are at BDH. We are all BDH students, right? From the time you were born until now, at this point in time, at this point, at this hour, at this minute, talk to your friend about what you know about communication. All right, do that. And when we come back, we'll discuss that. All right? 10 minutes. Anything you know about communication, from school, from work, in chats, anything that you know about one something and communication. What you know about communication? Okay, when I come back in 10 minutes, each member of the group will present your findings. What you know about communication? Anything at all you know about. Communication in your culture. How do you communicate? Anything about communication in your culture. How many groups we have in Mosby? 1 or 2? We can have one rep from Mosby and one from Lay.
Okay.
Yeah?
Our definition of communication is imparting or exchanging of information or knowledge by speaking, writing, or using some other means of medium. Example, personal conversation is communication. Teaching is communication. Preaching, storytelling is communication. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Okay, Lay.
So, Lay, communication. We said communication is the process in which ideas, concepts, knowledge, information is passed on from one person to another. Communication is the necessity of life. And we also said about communication is the basis of any relationship. Yeah, when communication is not done well, people tend to misunderstand and do all kinds of things, misunderstand. So communication is very important. Yeah, I think that's what we said. Communication is both verbal and non-verbal. That's how communication is conducted from one to another. Thank you.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, thank you. Okay, we come to Bunce. We have 1, 2, 3. We have four groups. Okay, Alex, tell us what you and Alan know about communication.
Vance, what we understand about communication is in terms of when we send message, the message from sender to receiver, and then from receiver back to sender. So we look at the channel of communication. So I just want to give some examples from my culture. In the past, people use console to communicate about maybe there is a trouble fighting or a person die, so they have to use the console to communicate. And there is a style of communicate by using the console. And also they use gramut, even fire, and also the nature. They believe the nature, that nature can tell them about what that are going to be happen. So that's what we understand about communication.
Very good. That's correct. So far, all those answers are correct. Next group. Jacob and Anton.
Thank you. From our discussion, group 2, we came up with the idea of making your thoughts and feelings known to others, or expression of thoughts and feelings verbally and non-verbally using body languages as we communicate. And like our friend said, with nature, as Papua New Guineans, Melanesians, we also believe that the nature, like birds singing in the morning, tells us that the daybreak is coming now, or the crocs, yeah, all this, it's communicating to us, or it's morning, or it's lunch, or yeah, something like that. Yeah, I just leave it as that to our friend.
Yep, correct. All those, that answer is also correct.
Me and Nathaniel, we have come up with a simple understanding of communication is art of sending and receiving message to create understanding. And some of the modes of communication, like Alex have said, they blow corn cells or war cry, and some they burn smoke to show some of the signs that they are in that particular area. Something, yeah. That's all. Thank you.
Good, that's correct. That's also correct. Okay, last group.
Okay, me and Albert, we look at communication as what we know about communication is the sending of information using different modes of sending message information by verbal, sign languages and symbols, written emails, websites, and so forth. And communication also can bring relationship and connection with the people, connecting people.
Very good. That's also correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the basics. The basic tools of communication. What must be there before communication takes place? All right? If you have a piece of paper, now I'm going to put for the first hour, I'm going to just talk. The next hour we'll show you some notes. Now we'll do some exercise just to understand the basics of communication. The first thing that happens in communication is you must have a substance to communicate. There must be something to communicate, right? There must be some substance, right? Something that you need to communicate. You must have that. All right? It must have that. Like in the modern world, it's called what? Information, you must have some information to communicate. Yeah? The first thing that you have is the substance. And that substance is called information. You think him? You think him? The second thing, the second basics of information is that you must have a sender and a receiver. All right? Yeah? You must have a sender and a receiver. What's the third thing? The channel of communication. All right? Channel or the medium. All right? So you have the substance, right? You got kaikaya. How kaikaya lawyer and call lawyer. Right? You have to have a sender and a receiver and a medium of transmission. You quite clear? That must be stuck in your head forever now. Arima, that must be the basics. All right? Okay. Now, for you to transfer that substance, information, from the sender to the receiver on the transmission medium, transmission or channel, what must those sender and receiver have to make communication work?
Medium.
Okay,
Medium.
you got receiver, yeah? Now you got sender. Now information and become no sender, yeah? Sender. Now you go along, receiver. All right? And you are connected by channel. Okay, what tools you must have for the sender to transmit that information to the receiver?
A medium of communication.
Yeah, medium of communication, a device. The medium of communication or the device. Okay? The sending device and the receiving device. Right? So drawing one box here, draw a box, draw a line through, and draw another box. Right? Your first box is called sender. Your second, your box on the other side is called receiver. Now, put the tools of sender, okay, the device, the sending device, and the receiving device, and the medium, the channel, all right? You guys with me? Okay, let's bring this example into life. Let's bring it into life. I'm speaking to Anton right away, right now. I'm sending a message to him. Can you receive it? Can you receive it? I'm the sender and you're the receiver. All right? Okay. What is the device? What is the sender device that I'm using? My mouth. Okay? My mouth. All right? And voice. All right? My mouth and voice. And what is Anton using to receive that? His ears. So you got two devices, mouth and voice, and using the ears to receive. All right? Okay. What is the channel of communication? What is between me and what is between my mouth and Anton's ear? The airwaves. Okay? The airwaves. Right? There's no cable. Right? There's no cable between me and him. You know how the wire. You know how the wire. There is this God-given airwaves. No one man construct him this channel. You think him? Yeah? How beautiful is that? Right? So that's our first example of sender, receiver, channel of communication, and devices. Right? The devices. Now, how does device work? Alex, how does the device work? Let's use this human communication now. How does that work? Device work. What makes this communication work between you and Anton? What makes this communication work or meaningful? Meaningful. Is that I'm talking and you are receiving it using the medium of channel, which is the airwaves. Now scientifically, the airwaves, what is the airwaves made up of? God made it so beautiful that modern communication cannot create exactly the same thing. So they're using God's given airwaves to create a Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi, the internet Wi-Fi, satellite communications, using God's given airwaves, not even paying God a single. Look at the telecommunications companies using high technology to use the airwaves to bounce off signals. When I talk about signals, it brings another term. I'm sending signals to Antona. Signals. My voice is sound. I'm sending sound signals, right? Yeah? I'm breaking the airwaves to make it sound. Right? And I suppose money ya belum bagrap. It's I'm not going to ya ya belum me walk na clean. So suppose I'm putting kapok inside. I'm not hurrying me. So that's communication at its basic definition. There must be a sender and a receiver, channel of communication, and devices to receive. That the other question I asked was, what makes it meaningful? What makes it meaningful? What makes you understand the message? Huh? What? I am clear na go finish here. Now suppose no got this narrow device. It won't make any meaningful. Even if it goes into the device. Now suppose you got that device long, they call it decoded. Okay? Assemble the signals. Okay, I'm saying hello, right? Hello, Anton. Anton, you talk hello. Hello, Anton. You're right. You stop where? Okay. That is communication taking place. From sender to receiver through a communication channel, which is airwaves. And what makes him understand the message and reply? There's a third device. There's a third device. Without it, understanding, yes, but there's another device. Language has to be meaningful. Yeah, language is that information. Language is that information. But there's another device that decodes it. We talk hello. The time I'm coming from
The brain.
What was the
The
word?
brain.
Brain.
The brain.
The brain. The brain. The brain is the decoding device. it decodes. Huh? So we talk hello. Hello spells what? H-E-double-L-O. Nam kaba belum, ia belum mana ya. Em receiving musim hello wa. Na sabo semua ka brain. Em nak reading selalu. Dia tinggi mah. Sabos brain brain foul. Ibarat apa? Hello by means me like fighting you. You tinggi mah. Itu hello, which is a good word. Na sabos brain brain barap. Em betul Kwasam. Fight.
Excuse me, Nathan.
Yes.
The sound waves are not coming clear. You cannot hear it properly in Mosby.
I think it's the
Yes,
microphone.
and late too.
This is communication at its best now, right? This is communication live. Okay, we'll talk about what, we'll define what our friend in Mosby just said. Okay? This is what I was exactly saying. You see, people in Mosby cannot receive the information
Yes,
100%.
information.
This is not working too. Okay, so now we are using devices, right? I'm using microphone to what? Help me communicate long distances, right? Using technology, all right? My normal God-made voice cannot reach Mosby on the what? Airwaves, yeah? So we're using a microphone to what? To send these signals, yeah? These sound signals. These sound signals carries an information that goes through that and goes to what? Another device on the computer, right? A microphone. Which, this is IT, this is complex. But we just don't have to touch it. That's another totally different topic. But let's get back to what most people are saying here. They are not receiving that information clearly. Because of what? Faulty devices, right? Brain bugger up. Yeah? The transmission, that channel is not 100%. That's why it distorts. That is called noise. All right? It creates noise and disturbances. Okay, Alex? Noise and disturbances distort the what? Quality of the substance, right? People in Mosby, I know they have good ears, right? Yeah, and I have a good voice, but it's just the device, right? The quality of the device, the receiving device. It could be the sending device, the microphone. That distorts the message. So, people in Mosby ask us to repeat. Repeat. Is that clear, Mosby? Mosby?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so you Brasalo, communication now. Communication is the process, right?
Complete.
It's the process of transmitting what? Information. You know, Salim Kakwa, huh? You transport him cow long. Bansi ko no leya. Yeah? Using what? The road. The devices are what? Truck. Truck karim lo road, nam ko gium lo lay. Same thing. Just channel of transportation. I'm transporting substance, am na? What is substance? Cow. In this lesson, we are talking about the substance is the information. And people are the what?
Send us a message.
Devices. Okay? Sender and receiver, they're people. Okay? So you can be a sender, you can be a receiver. Sender and receiver. The next question is, when you go to church on Sunday and the preacher is preaching, is that communication? It is communication. It is communication. From sender to receiver. Okay. Are there any questions? Any questions? Yes, Nathaniel.
Must be.
Thank you. Thank you, Nathan.
Can you speak up so most people can?
Yes.
Now remember, from here on, we are communicating. We are communicating. All right? So your voice must be good. Your devices must be good. Clean your ears. Have your brain ready to receive. Decode, analyze, and bring meaning to that communication. Over to you.
Thank you. You mentioned the one of the brain as a device in the process of communication, and my question is in the context of an organization or a church. What is the brain that processes the information in the process of communication?
Communication in the church.
I mean, in an organization, a channel of communication. Then, what is the brain that is in the organization where communication?
Okay, we're talking about brain. The question is about brain, the decoding device. Yeah, the decoding device. The human brain is the decoding device. All right. Today we have, what other decoding device do we have? In modern organizations, like in church, what is the decoding device? What is decoding? Reassemble. Huh? Are you guys with me? A decoding device is the device that reassembles signals. Huh? Are you with me? All right. Give me an example of how the brain decodes information. So Nathaniel is asking about brain in the church. I can't answer that question. I don't know. Because communication happens between people, right? Yeah? That's the natural communication now. But when it comes to computers, you send messages using computers, right? So the brain of the computer is the chip that decodes, all right? Takes signals and reassembles it. It's a bit complicated, that's IT stuff. So in the church, what would be the brain in the church? Okay, let's start with communication. What communication happens in the church? Communication, let's go back to the definition now. Basic definition. You have a substance, right? Huh? You have something to what? Communicate. We have something to communicate, right? Now, you have to have a sender and a receiver, all right? And you have to have a channel, all right? Channel. So you're asking, in the church, what's the brain in the church for communication? What is the context of your question?
Yeah, this
What happens in the church?
The people.
Praise and worship.
Hello.
Sermon. All right, sermon in the church. Okay? Sermon is communicating. Huh? It's communicating. Singing is communication. Right? So, let's go back to the basics of communication again. Sender, receiver, channel communication. And what? The device to decode. Huh? So as in human beings, we have the brain that decodes, transmit the signals into meaningful. Especially stable chats. You are very concerned chats. Now all money sing stuff. Now you go now you start dancing about. You're dancing. You're dancing like, you know, dance long music lo worship. You dance long music lo party. Party. Like, you think I'm disco music. Now you sing out number, talk number. What does that explain? That the decoding mechanism is what? It's not functioning normally. Yeah? Brain bloman drug si mema. Drug pauli mem. Smoking marijuana and drink beer on the brain blame is absence. Absence meaning what? Your full brain is not functioning. Right? So you're receiving the signals from the hymn. You're receiving the signals from the hymn as worship song. Your brain decodes it and found the meaning of that song as a disco song. Right? So you are dancing to it. Yeah? So, let's come back to Nathaniel's question. What's the brain in the church? If we look at organization, yes, we can look at that. But right now we're looking at the basic definition of communication. All right? So, when we go into the church, just as an organization, there's an organization. You create information and you communicate to what? To what? Who do you communicate to? Congregation. Congregation. In the last, when we talk about supervision and what? Delegation. Yeah? What happens when you bring communication into that? You working on him communication. You use him on him pass him down. You talk. You sing at him all. Pastor is coming to rock all. You use him on him. You write him letter. You write him letter. What else? You send a message on him. Phone. What are other? Emails and WhatsApp. All those are what? Mediums of communication. So, there is no such thing called a brain in the church to decode that. Communication is about what? People. Hey, communication is about living things. Right? The same model of communication. I'm not simple computer. Let's talk about computer. Computer becomes more complex. More complex. Right? So, you know, a brain church. All the brains, everybody had brains in the church to receive and send information. Okay? So, communication is the process. It's the action. Right? The substance is the what? Information.
Information.
Oi, you don't have communicate nothing. You got talk, you talk. No got talk, nothing. No got confusion, nothing. All right, so meaning. The brain makes it meaningful, nothing else. The brain makes it meaningful. So in church, everybody has brains, right? I hope I answered your question. It's a very difficult question. So in the space in church, there is no device in the church. When you're standing up in front and preaching or singing, there are only what? One channel. One channel and what? Many receivers and many senders. Right? So, the direction of information. The direction of information is always what? Forward. Me talk. I'm go forward to you. It's heading forward to you. The direction of this information is flowing to you. And when you reply, say yes. Say yes. 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 That is a forward. All right. So you send, you receive, you decode it, you find meaning to it, and what? You send it back. All right? Now, all of us sitting here, I'm sending a signal, sir. You like how much players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 16 players. You got 16 players. Okay, block one of you is. Block it. Let me talk. Is it the same reception? No. Because receiving device, the workload faulty. Faulty. And when it's faulty, your decoding device. What's your decoding device? Brain. Brain is the decoding device. It finds meaning. And kissing this last sound and breaking it meaningful. And making meaning. Now suppose brain blow you back up. All the signals is foul. You find a drunken man. One black man heavily intoxicated. Or MJ. Smoking marijuana whole night go morning. You saw him signal, I'm no hari muan bla talk. All the talk is meaningless. So that's the brain, the decoding device. Decoding device. That brings in the signals, break it into pieces, assemble it, and makes meaning. Okay, but me give one example long. Computer communication. Right now me talk. This is like sound waves, sound. I'm go through a microphone, and me go inside the computer. All right? The receiving device is what? The microphone. Now, this is something. Think of this sound. Sound. And particles, I think. Particles. Air particles. God-given air particles. But all white man create him this microphone. Yeah. And receive him. And receive him the salary go to the computer. Okay. Brain block computer na mock. And break him this last sound into what? Into what? In computer language we call it bytes. Bytes, time you buy him data. Time you buy him data. 3 kina digital data is how much like megabytes? Wait. 50 megabytes. 50 megabytes. Oh. Okay, I'm trying to give another example. How to explain the basics of communication, me explaining Pinisa. That's involved. What? Sender, transmission, receiver, and decoding device that transmits it into meaningful. All right? So method talk stuff here. So the sound waves and travel or sound equal microphone. Microphone carry me concept on computer. Brain block computer and what? Change him to the sound equal long bytes. Bytes. And in computing, bytes is only measured in zeros and ones. Think about zeros and ones. All right? So, jila voice misalnya, when you measure it in megabytes, right now we talk it's actually in gigabytes. You know megabytes or kilobytes. It's in gigs. Because I'm trial of volume. So time you kiss him 500 megabytes per you. Now you like watching a movie. 3 minutes less than I'm finish. So that's what it means. So this computer transmit it into zeros and ones so that computer can carry and not have carrying sound. You think him? And not carrying sound, I'm carrying zeros and ones through the cables. Come up. Salam me concert long. Wait. I'm salam concert is looking blue black cable. Blue black cable. I'm internet cable. I'm carrying these like zeros and ones. I'm not carrying sound. You concert lo have. That's like computer. I'm carrying zeros and ones, so it's like cable. Nakol kaolo must be instantly. Yeah, instantly. So that's how computers work. So, brain blue me. I'm saying work same thing and work. It's the same thing. We talk not jual harim ya. I'm working same thing ya. Brain blue decoding device it work very fast. It even work faster than the computer. You think ma? Me talk have ya. My brain and Juliet's brain is what? Terabytes or terabytes. You know kilobytes, not megabytes, not megabytes. And terabyte, God working terabyte. How I'm kissing the travel sound and convey him na, transmit him na, selling go back, yeah. That's amazing. Man will not create that brain, only God did it. So what man did is they copied the brain and put it inside a computer to do the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Yeah? But it's limited to what you have. Yeah? What we human beings have. I'm big plan nunggu turun stop. Yeah. So that's how communication takes place. And that's the basics of communication. Okay, hey, give me some time to rest. Break. Okay, we'll take a 5 minutes break. And then when we come back, we look at what the books tell us about communication. Okay, you may have a 5 minutes break, then we come back. But you may look good.
Hello, Leighton.
Yeah. Or any questions before we go?
Sorry.
Okay, you talk.
Must be got a question, but maybe after the break, huh?
Okay, go think him good
Come
na.
back and,
Decode him good na.
yeah,
Putting the brain good na.
yeah,
Assemble him good, okay, carry come
yeah.
back.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, bye. You got your question, huh?
yeah,
Before you ask the question,
yeah.
before you ask the question, I'm gonna give another scenario. Okay, let's go back to the basic definition of communication. And I'm focusing on the decoding device, which is the brain. Yeah, which is the brain. Now, if I say a word in my language, I'm going to say a word in my language to Jacob. Tila. Stella, do you understand that? Do you understand what that means? Now this brings to a point of an important aspect of communication. That decoding device must have a definition database. Yeah? Your brain must have a definition database. Database, you mean? Your brain is the data bank, right? Database. That decoding device, which is the human brain, must have a definition database to define meaning, give meaning to information, right? You understand? That's another aspect of the decoding device. It must have a definition database. And where does the definition database come from? From your experience, the day you were born until now you're sitting here. Yeah? Alex, time you're born enough, you stop. That is when you build that database, that definition database. Time old beginning baby, all of us are baby here. Yeah? Yeah? What was the first word you said to somebody? Papa. That's your first communication word, Papa. Because, yeah. So that is your first word. That you found meaning to it. You think him? You work him sound, now that is blue, you record him. And Papa. Yeah. So, I was just talking about the size of the flash drive. Yeah. The size of this flash drive is 16 watt, 16 gigabytes, which is 16,000, 16 million, 16 million bytes. That can store enough definition in it. You think, Emma? Suppose Emily's finishing limit, Emma. Now, Papa, you know, stop. And trouble will come up. You think, Emma? Emma, trouble will come up. Me talk good, but talk you are. Now, suppose definition below you talk no good, then fight back it up. Because your brain only knows that definition. I'm no big blah. Size blame I'm less than 16 giga. So that's how communication takes place. Important must got definition database. If you speak 10 languages, man, your bytes are bigger than the other person's bytes. Brain blue traveler. And also in intelligence. Alex, if you're 16 gig, if your 16 gig only holds factual information, or tutur plus aware, brain blue and big blah. Nasa polo stupid go inside like too. Then come up, by so him. So you long na you stop. You have a capacity. You have a capacity God created. Yeah? There are some people in this world are more intelligent than others. Science has proven that Einstein has used he used 10% of his brain. 10%. And he's very clever. Normal human being, we only use 2. You miss him 2, now you talk him clever. But God did not create 10, 9. He created 100%. You think him? But that calls for religious interpretations and theological interpretations. going back to ancient history and time God created Adam and Eve. The question is, brain was at work already. You think him? Brain was at work already. Now God he give him 2 plus 7 percentage. I don't know how many percentage, how much. But I'm talking 2 plus knowledge. I'm talking knowledge. Knowledge plus die stuff, life that item stuff, which is another 10%. You think him? You think him? At that time, Adam and Eve didn't know they were naked. You think him? They have certain limited brains to define things. So time only find him like a fruit. That's when they broke that capacity to think. Do you like him more sour now? Do you like him more sour now? So go talk again. So which like sour say me? Go. And God controls that limit. I'm controlling him now. I'm controlling him. You see, one of the things that scientists can do, they can do anything, but they cannot create an original man. Think what? Because that's beyond, there must be 15%. Einstein went as far as 9%. Suppose God increasing the level of 15 by me working man. But I mean, that's controversy. But I'm trying to explain database definition. I'm sorry for you. Suppose now you still don't know here. You come study 4 years of theology. You increase in capacity, thinking. Definition will increase. But I'm not increasing percentage of brain. You must have 2 years. 2 or 3 years. That's how it is. That's the amazing fact. So I was explaining definition by that example. We talk tela lomana and faula. Because the dictionary will have no meaning. I'm sound as well. But tela in my language is good afternoon. You think, now I am you registering finish. Next time you look at me, tela, I talk tela. Because your dictionary work finish. Definition is double index. Okay, that's how things work. Okay, let's take the bottom question. What was your blari, Mr. Ba? Oi.
Hello. Yes.
You blari example
Nathan.
Romeo. Okay, ask him question, Blue.
Okay, all right. Our question is, okay, we defined the definition of the word communication, and so our question is if the communication at the receiving end does not respond or give a feedback, will it alter your definition of the word, your communication definition that has been stated? Will it alter that meaning or no?
Did you hear that question? I didn't hear that question properly. I mean,
Okay.
my decoding machine
What I'm
is
trying to say is
what
that-
noises. Okay, ask him to talk, Pisin.
Okay, you can hurry him on.
Yeah.
Suppose, the question is also, suppose the communication that we are doing, if it is received by the receiver, the decoding end, and if the receiver does not respond or give a feedback to that communication, will it alter your definition of the communication that you have explained already?
Yes. Okay. Let's look at the basic structure again. Sender, receiver. All right? And you're asking, he's not responding. Yeah?
Yeah.
There are several
Yeah.
factors that contribute to that non-response. I'm not having good. Okay? Because of the noise. or ear blame barab, or brain blame foul. Huh? Yeah? So, it depends on how good his brain is. That that he received the meaning. Now he has a definition database that defines, which makes meaning to the information. So he will only respond if that information is meaningful. It calls for a reaction. Suppose you talk, come here. Now suppose you talk another talk place. I'm not a mover. 1, 2, you talk come no here. Now brain blame no walk or ear blame back up. I'm not respond. So it's all to do with the smoothness of the communication, including the quality of the devices. Yeah. So the quality of the sending device, the quality of the transmission, the quality of the receiving device, and the quality of the decoding mechanism or decoding device. And the decoding device must have a very wide definition database, knowledge. Definition database is basically knowledge somewhere. So it will only respond looking at the basic structure. Everything works perfectly. Suppose organize something work perfectly, and by respond. Suppose no them long stuff. You sing out, you go on the talk place, blame no walk. Your blame me bar up, spark. Blame silly. You might ignore him. Does that answer your question?
Partly, I think.
What's that about?
Just to add on, we for us, I think for myself, I've seen that like communication, if it's not given a feedback to what you are trying to communicate, then that communication is incomplete, and it should alter the meaning of the term, the word communication. I think communication is something like you are sending a message, and the message should give a feedback. And if that feedback comes back to you, then there is the definition there. That's communication completed. Then I think both parties should be happy.
Okay.
I was trying to, I'm asking that question so for you to explain that.
Okay,
Whether it's going to alter the communication definition that we have already termed now. Will it alter that process?
Okay, all right, let me answer that
to
question.
make communication complete? Yeah.
Okay, let me answer that question. All communications are not to be responded. All communications don't need to be responded to. Indirect response. All communications don't need a response. Okay? The response can take years for you to reply. Are you listening? All communications don't need a reply. The reply can take years to respond. Now, in the literature, there are two types of communication. One is called half duplex, which is a one-way communication. I have definitions, but we'll look at that tomorrow. Huh? Tomorrow? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Okay. Now, the communication is complete in both ways. Either it's half duplex or full duplex. Half duplex is one-way communication. Me talk, now you no respond now. Why do you not respond? Huh? The communication is complete. It is complete. To answer the Port Moresby question, communication is complete once it starts from sender to receiver. Is that a complete communication? Yeah? That's a complete communication. Because it receives, connects and receives. All right? So let's not confuse ourselves with complete and incomplete communication. All right? Communication is complete when it's received. You understand? Yeah? Mostly, does that answer your question? Oi.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
Don't
Thank you.
confuse yourself that a reply to your communication is incomplete. You understand?
Hello, Nathan.
Written is another stage of communication. You understand? Now understand it from the basic definition. From the sender to the receiver, that's communication. So that receiver is now the sender, right? And I'm receiving the communication. Yeah? You all with me? Knock and foul. Oi, Mosby, understand that communication is complete when it's received. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Yes, Alan.
Yeah, my comment is like in communication, like you already said, sometimes it's a as long as the message is sent from the sender, the communication is taking place. For example, if we are going to the church and then the preacher preach, he will not ask us to reply if we respond positive or negative towards his message. But he communicates the message already.
The communication is complete.
Is complete.
From sender to receiver.
So I agree with what you say.
You don't have to say agree. It's the truth. You don't have to say disagree or agree. That's a divine truth. That's communication once it's received. That's a complete communication. That is called a one-way communication or half duplex. It's half duplex. When it's full duplex, you respond to it. So now you are the sender, and I am the receiver. You will clear, you will follow your baby stuff. Okay, Alex. These are very good discussions. Very, very good discussions. We're getting to the bottom of understanding what communication is. The literal meaning of communication.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment based on communication. Sender is the important person, and the sender is the important person, and the receiver is the important person. So if the communication from the sender is very complicated, the receiver will struggle to understand the communication that sent by the sender. Thank you.
Alex, very good. I think you need to really understand the definition that I've just completely, I try to simplify it as simple as possible. Okay, let's start again. sender, receiver, channel. You all got it? Yeah? Sender, receiver, channel. Without one of those, there is no communication. Without any three of those, are you with me? Without any three of those, communication doesn't take place. Right? Suppose Chaplain Nicolo, Chaplain no Montana, is there communication? In Torok or DY no Gadia. You think him? Although yes, he's the sender, he's got a medium of communication with the airwaves. No one matter talk like man. There's no communication. Right? Alex, are you with me? Are you with me? Seriously, if you're not with me, you will never understand communication the way it is explained here. Yeah? And when I said that all communication takes time to be replied or responded. Let me give you an example. You preach for 10 years now, no got money change. You not gonna respond now. It takes 10 years for people to change. He's responding to that. It's communication taking place now. But the response took 10 years. So you must not have to cut him around for 5 years. Are you sending the message? Huh? Right now, change. So all communication does not have to be two ways. It will be two ways, but it will take time. All communication does not have, will not require a response now. I just explained now. Using a yapas mana, yapas, money yawin bara. To come, man, sanap name no move. That's because the receiving device is gone. There's no response. That's one, the receiving device. Two, the decoding device is half gone. Right? And in that decoding device, the database definition of the knowledge is very little. You like clear on me? Inclusive when become a pastor. Okay, but most people are in here. I'm answering the question of complete and incomplete communication. All communication is complete if it is received. Yeah? Either one way or two way. All right? So half duplex is one way. Full duplex is bang bang. All right? Okay, let me give you an example. Before mobile phone companies, or cigarette got, or much you see on it. Radio, walkie talkie. Oi, what's that walkie talkie? What's that walkie talkie? One plus something say mobile phone. But M got one-way communication. M got half duplex. Me talk go na man em chum la walkie talkie la ya. Em harima. Na em talk over. Almost at walkie over walkie talkie. Em talk over. Over meaning tubla walkie talkie. Tubla no got capacity to operate on a duplex mode. Duplex mode. So by me talk over na man press him tom. Walkie talkie na put him off. Na man upset by pressing on or receive him. So communication is complete, but it's one way. To produce a full duplex communication, man have talk over, na press him on the button. Na jila man have ready long, receive him. But communication actually took place. What is called half duplex. What has changed that? What device has changed walkie-talkie? Something here. You don't say over. Turong mirip talk over, never turong back. No. You not talk over lo mirip lu. Lo presimum la patena. Huh? You talk dialing over. Now presimum patena turong. No. It's a full duplex communication. Communication goes back and forth without interruption. But it's received back and forth. It's called full duplex. You like clear? Clear. Okay. Let's go back to the definition of complete communication. Complete communication is when information is received. That's when it's received. No reply, you press the button and bottom like no walkie-talkie or talk. Darling, I'm listening, talk to me. And she talks. Yeah? That's communication taking place. It requires what? Constant response. So in management, communication takes place, right? What are the forms of communication in management? What is the most common medium of communication in management? Email. Yeah, email. Can you all write email? Write it down. Write him email. All right, let's write them. Write the headline. And definition database and big class. Keep all these analogies in your head. Decoding device and database definition. Database definition and knowledge somewhere. You got big blood database definition database. You must have planted something. Yeah? So you work in Bachelor of Theology, maybe you work in certificate in ministry. Definition will pick me that's what knowledge is. That's what Sawe is. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. You talk.
Good afternoon, Lay and Home Campus. My question, thank you for that, all the information about communications. I'm just thinking, does the form of language also contribute to the good manner of communication? Form of languages, yes, we use.
Form of
languages, yeah.
Language is the information. Language of information, yeah. Knowledge, that's how. Rousing communication device, that information is useless. You talk about language, em database blue here, sawe blue here. Em stored na stuff, em stuff inside na stuff. So information and communication are totally two different things. No can foul. Caleb, please, Mila, so you foul. Language is information, knowledge. Most people are clear on me. This is basic stuff here, very basic. Okay, let's talk about information and communication. Information is the what? Substance. Are you with me? It's a substance, it's the knowledge, it's a sound, it's a language. The substance. Sound knowledge, language on it. It's a substance. M is stuff inside long, one M. Database, brain here. Brain. So, database blue, wait. Size database and different numbers, Jacob. They are totally different. You carry him, you run on. But you carry him run on when you die. Do you not believe suppose I'm not story you are? Oi, Timuna Blue is the motion of Total Papa Blue Holo catching visa. Ah. Can you see that scenario? Darah base plan pula belum sampai belum catching visa. Ah. It's in the form of his language. Huh? It's a form of his language. Now step inside. Now suppose I'm not talking sun blame. It's like sun blame. Been on somewhere. Alright? So language is the means. Language is the means in which knowledge or information is transferred. So you talk about language. Yeah, language is the means. Means in which information is what? Put together. Alright? So let's look at a piece of paper. A piece of paper is the means in which you put in sound in no sound language. You think about what is language? Language and sound, but then come up with sound. Sound is the means in which paper. Are you guys with me? You using paper or writing I love you. Oh, I hate you. Suppose your mouse pass mana. You write email.
Hello, most speak cannot hear.
If you okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about language.
Mic, please.
Okay, we're talking about language. Language, it's a means of communication. Language is that means in which information is broken into. Suppose information exists in your brain, but you transmit it to language. I'm speaking English. Like I just demonstrated the saying good afternoon to Jacob. How does that come out? Sound. Sound, but it came out in the language. Language is the defined structure in which sound carries it, not paper no karim. Paper no karim. Sound is karim. Language is the different way of delivering that information through sound. Not only through sound, but transmitting into paper. So you say, I love you, or good afternoon, in 100 different languages. That's knowledge, is it? I'm stopping your brain, it's dead. It doesn't make any meaning until what happens? Sound karim come outside. Sound karim lo way. Sound karim lo way. Where does sound carry that knowledge? Jesus, from the brain. These are common sense things. We live with it. We live it every day. You missed up one time every day since we were born. It's part of our life. Communication has been part of our life since we were born. So it's nothing new. We're only trying to understand how it works. Oi. Now you missed up class. So you mean like understand him how it works. Waktu mana boleh sebab Paul talking you to your people tell you to how do your village people explain communication? I mean, they talk to you. Go and carry firewood, go fetch water. But do they teach you how it works? Yes or no? They don't know. We speak in language. So, begin go was. Now you are him, go was. That's communication. But did your father tell you how that works? Yes or no? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. You got ear, you are him. No, what? I'm booking you. Yes, I'm still telling you how it works. Are you guys with me? He's actually telling his son or daughter, Oi, open me and him talk. Is that teaching him how it works? Yes, it is. That was the first communication lecture. Now, suppose you don't plan him and talk on him. Pass the mouse. What is he saying? He is teaching you that your mouth actually transmits. And don't you believe her? The communication skills, the techniques were actually explained to you when you were small. Pass the mouse. I'm talking pass the mouse, which is actually telling you, don't speak. Stop him this device here, sending device. Now, block him this receiving device. We were taught the importance of the devices of communication. Yeah? I hope that simple example, analogy gives you the definition of communication. So language, Jacob, is the sound. It is the sound. Language is the sound. It's a type of information content. It's the type of the way information is delivered. So, pass the mouse is what? Sound. And it comes in English, that's a sound. In a language. That can be said in 8 different languages. Alex, pasemos talk plus dulu. Talk. Okay, so that sound comes out in a language. A language is its language is the type of sound that delivers that message through a channel. To bed sing, all beds are talk to opisin. That's sound. Okay? Na stam jangan lo mouse na konar lot. Yo lo nar pam pisin. Yeah. You talk.
I just want to share something.
Good. Yes, share. That's good.
Yeah, motherly, but I think it's very unique in a way that how a mother communicate with the infant, the child. You know how he cries and how mother embraces the baby and takes it next to her breast, and you know if she or he am waiting pants long or like sleep long night, it is the way where the mother and the infant communicate. I think that is very unique. Yeah, very unique, and like being a mother, I'm thinking that is a very special and unique way of a mother and a child communicating with each other. Although like they can talk, the baby can talk, but it's the way she or the baby interact or how when mama slow sleep or ilek kai or ilek susu or ilek olgera disla something. I just thought I'd share this because as a mother, and I just want to share.
Thank you. That's a very good example. We talk about verbal communication. And there is also what? Body communication. There's also what? Smell communication, odor communication, sound communication. So all different forms of communication. The two common ones are what? Verbal, sound, and what? Physical, body. Body language, visual. Yeah. So what the example we get from Mosby is the visual, the physical, the body language, the smell language, and the odor language. Suppose you smell lemon or something and sting. What does that communicate? A man died, or this is a dead body. Something is there. So those are the different forms of communication. Yeah. So that example from Mosby is an example of both visual, body, smell, or communication. And if we go back to the basic definition of communication is sender and receiver, right? And medium of communication. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Yes. 1 minute past 4. Okay. Okay. Let's round it up. Basics of communication: sender, channel, receiver. Communication is received when sender receiver receives. The sender has a device, sending device and receiving device. The sending device must have a decoding device. The receiver must have decoding device. Both must have decoding device, right? The decoding device must have a definition database, which is your knowledge database. Do what? Do what? Why do you have definition database or knowledge? So that you understand the communication, so that you can find meaning to the communication. We also learn today that those devices must be in operational state. Organizational devices must work normal lah. Now channel must work normal too. Channel of communication must good lah. Yeah. So for communication to be complete, and we receive and send information, all those basic structures, you must stop finish. If one of them is missing, what happens? Communication is not taking place. There is no communication without those things. Physically without them, or they are what? Only baharap. Only baharap na information not delivered. Although it's sent, but because channel is not good blah, device is not good blah, no got good blah definition database or knowledge. I'm sorry, but communication not take place. So in management, by you look Wednesday, by you look why communication is very important in the success of an organization. Why? Why? The success of an organization depends on quality information and good communication. Yeah. Suppose you work along the company na, you know reading emails blue you na. you no respond. That's when problem starts. Yeah? If you turn your phone off, huh? If you block your boss's number because I'm not giving promotion or I'm talking good to you, a block number will what? Destroy the company. Huh? So by him look channels. Now why it is vital to communicate and communicate effectively and efficiently, and all our devices, all our language must be good. So the time you come up pastor, that becomes important. Church believe are good because no man long all pastor, yeah. Your role is all blocking phone blong all, on a reply or email blong, resalim letter all in no reply. So this is not way. You may talk tomorrow. All right, thank you, True. Can somebody say a quick prayer and we go? Must be working quick prayer, please, because today you've been working, starting prayer, finish up. Must be please. Talk thank you long, big man, Papa God long. Give me big plus hour now. Now ask him long, straight him. That a definition, brain blow you me, that a voice blow you me. Now spirit blow him by help him clear, so that by you me learning or something. Okay, must be pray blow you me.